Oh, hi. What do you know? Streaming on a Tuesday? Couldn't be me. Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that I can't stop playing Zelda? Do you think it has something to do with that? What's up, Wolfie? How are you? Welcome in. I literally was sitting here and I was like, I want to play Zelda, but I like don't want to like do stuff off stream. And I'm like, I'll stream. About to make tacos? Or kind of tacos. Well, I mean, I'm like, you know, what kind of tacos? Are you doing like like chicken, beef, fish? Are you doing fish tacos? Crunchy, soft tortillas? What kind? Tell me everything. I want to live vicariously through the tacos. I ate food. I just want more food. This isn't my home. Alright, so what I need to do is I need to find more wells because Astro and I are in a competition to see who can find the wells, all of the wells. Do I have? Gosh. I need to do something about these weapons. Hardshell using ground turkey to be a little healthier. See? It's a good thing I asked. Ground turkey is actually legit though. Ground turkey is legit. I feel like some of these are kind of a waste. Let's use some of these. These are fun. These are fun. Look at me like spin, like little blades, like spin. That's fun. This is Claymore, it's two-handed, yeah. Use it in my spaghetti, because I started a jar with meat sauce, you can't tell the difference. That's true. That's true, that's true. That's true. I like ground turkey. Like, I would get ground turkey just because I like ground turkey. Like, I like ground turkey. I just like turkey in general, really. Alright, so I don't want this. No, 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 I want that one. Don't want that. And I don't want that. And, I guess the others are okay to keep. See, this one, I wanna break this apart, but I don't want to lose the ruby. Dealing with special needs, kid, you have to be careful. Yeah, no, I get it. That's what I'm saying. So, like, like, I'm sure if you prepare it properly, well, I don't know your daughter, but I would assume if you prepare it in a way she can't tell the difference, then it would be fine. Some people can tell the difference, like, simply just because of the taste. Like, some people really can just tell the difference. She hasn't. Hi, Zeus! How are you? I miss you. Thank you for the pine cone. And then could be like, yeah! Translation, slay! Hi, Zeus. How are you? How's your Zelda? How's your Zelda? There it is. Pine cone. Pine cone. Pine cone. Pine cone. Oh, you guys can't hear the pine cone. Oh no, hold on. Now you can hear the pine cone. Yay, so to leave. Cause work. I haven't been here because I'm playing this game with no visuals. Cause work and work and work. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I hear you on the work thing. I hear you on the work thing. I feel like all work and no play. Even though I am play, I just feel like all work and no play. Hi, Nyx. How are you? Welcome in. Zeus, how is work? How is life? How is things? I miss seeing you around. Slackers, hi, Solly. Sometimes when I use the ground turkey, I add beef broth instead of water. When I add the taco seasoning, then there's really no difference. Yeah. Pink. Okay. What were we doing? He wants one choo-choo. Common blue choo-choo. Okay. Ooh, the throne room. Doing alright. Playing out my October fun besides my usual Halloween movies every day. You watch Halloween movies all in October? A weapon made with a Lionel horn? Oh my gosh. I wonder if we can fight a Lionel now that we have the Master Sword. It was so good. Was it really? So good. Planning? Oh, planning, not playing. Oh. I thought you were just like, yeah, I'm just like, you know, doing October stuff in May. I didn't know. One horror movie a day from October 1st to 31st? Really? Other fun is cosplaying? Yeah. I didn't know. I didn't know if you were like, I'm gonna do Halloween stuff. I'm gonna decorate my house with pumpkins. Cheers to the Kingdom and Advance Wars get here Thursday. I traded to for GameStop and ordered online because you had a coupon. What are you gonna play first? What are you going to play first? Have I spoiled your Tears of the Kingdom now? What was I doing over here? Oh yeah, getting this stupid Lionel. Alright, she says there's one by the Gulch. Where's the Gulch? Tempest Gulch over here, bro? What? It better be... Oh my god, it better be a red maned Lionel. If I go over here and it's a silver Lionel or a black Lionel, I'm gonna be so pissed. Like, I can't beat Lionels even when they're, like, red or blue. Red's the lowest, then blue, then black, then silver. The review for games that have lesson. Well, that's good. Some people are like, no, I can't play it if I watch, or I can't watch it, I want to play it. Like, you're still gonna experience it, you know? Like, you're still gonna do it. Like, story stuff? Like, yeah, I'd prefer to not see story stuff, but... regular-ass gameplay? Nah, it's not. And only if it's a game that I, like, genuinely care about the story. Like, if there's, like, a game that I'm like, yeah, I want to play this, but I watch somebody play it first and I know the story, it's no big deal. But, like, the Zelda games, only because of just how much I love them and how important they are to me. I've been in a bad place for a while, and bad things keep happening. Hopefully tomorrow breaks that, because I got a potential positive change. Depends on tomorrow. Nothing good has happened for me in a long time. But I don't want to jinx by talking about it. Sully, I am sending all of my positive vibes and thoughts your way, and I hope for your change to come very soon. I understand how that feels when you feel like you've just... Oh, it's red. Oh, it's red. Good. When you feel like you've got nothing. You've got nothing to look forward to. You've got no hope. I understand, and I sympathize, and I am passing on my positive vibes and my positive energy to you the best that I can. Okay. Alright, how many arrows do I have? 18! This is not gonna be... Wait, no, wait. No, wait, I have an idea first. No, I have an idea first. Wait! I want to try my idea! Okay, so I saw somebody on TikTok do this. And I want to see how well it's gonna work. Yes! Get wrecked. Wait, hold on. Wait, where's wings? Wings, yes. Wings. In your face. Get wrecked. Wait, why? Why did that not stun you? I hit you in the face twice. did dodge it, but it didn't count as a flurry rush. Yes. Kill them. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him for me. Do it for me. I forgot he does that. Oh, I forgot he does that. God.
Anvoyote just resubscribed for 7 months.
Anvoyote
are just furry chads.
Furry chads. You know, why would you say something so outrageous and so true? What's up, Envoy? Thank you for 7 months. I appreciate you, friend. How are you? Alright, we're gonna get our booties handed to us real quick. Alright, to be perfectly honest, even going back to being a kid, I don't think I ever went to a Zelda game other than, I think, Phantom Hourglass without having sat in a room with someone else. Really? That's funny. No, I've, for the most part, all of my Zelda games have been first playthrough, blind playthrough, you know, like, my, oh, yes, yes, thank you, oh my god, is that a thing? Yes, I can't believe that just happened. What a champion! Oh my god! What a champ! Bro. Bro, what a champ. Oh my god, look at my little souls over here. Ah! I got cocky! I got cocky! Holy shit, what just happened?
Engine.
Oh my god, you scared me. I like forgot what that noise is and it scared me. Oh my gosh, Envoy, thank you so much for the wallpaper engine.
Baba Yaga, which just resubscribed for 11 months. Booby.
Booby. Booby. Why, that actually really did say booby. Yaga, thank you for 11 months. Holy shit. Baba. Baba Yaga. I know, Envoyote and Baba Yaga. Guys, thank you so much. I'm dead. Just transferring all my new home idiots to Scarlet. Oh wait, is that live yet? Is that live now? It's so weird that these guys are just a random encounter when they are tougher than some of the bosses. We sound so cool in bot talk. Yeah, especially because I've beaten all of the temple bosses so far. Like, most of them. Okay, I died one time with each temple boss. I wasn't ready for that. I died each time with one temple boss each time. Oh, wow. I died one time to each temple boss. I know words. And, they were all stupid stuff, like not paying attention. Come on, nope. Oh my god. I literally can't even stand up. Look at it, I can't even stand up. Back up, back up, back up, back up. You did not back up, okay. Wait, since when is that an attack? Did they do that in Breath of the Wild? Did they do that slam attack in Breath of the Wild? Like, legit? I don't remember them doing that slam. They may genuinely have done it, but I don't remember them doing that slam. Holy crap. Starting to freak a little because I have a big tournament this weekend and you leave tomorrow. Where? Can you share where it is? Are you allowed to share? Why don't you give me your best yeehaw when you hop on the back of a Lionel? Do I look like a yeehawing kind of gal? Do I look like a yeehaw kind of gal? It's in Georgia. You get to meet new and old friends. That's exciting. More yee than haw, to be honest. Yeehaw! I mean, I do live in Tennessee. So I should be yeehawing, but alas. I'm still a New England girl at heart. Exactly. I'm from Connecticut. Smash. My high school homie opened up a LGS. Oh, so you boys playing some Magic? Yo, that Lord of the Rings Magic. Local game store. Got it. I was like, I don't know what LGS. I really was like racking my brain for a second. Alright, the zapping of the wolf was a little extreme, but it's fine. I keep getting so distracted every time I talk. The Lord of the Rings set is really, really cool. I haven't played Magic in a very, very long time, and I only played with an X a long time ago, so that would be really, really dope to be the set to get me, like, back into it. Can you? Thank you. I was like, open your mouth. Whee! Yo, Rex, to give me your treasure. I'm stoked for new cards. Yeah, that looks really dope. And that video with Elijah Wood was so good. It was so clever. Oh, it was so clever. When they're like, we need the card, and he's like, I gave it back. Like, it was so good. Oh, it was so good. And you can kick my butt. Can we? Okay, so I don't know, have I ever told the story of when I learned to play Magic the Gathering? Have I ever told this story? I don't think I have. So I was dating my ex-boyfriend at the time, and he was really into Magic. And he was like, I'll teach you. And I was like, oh my god, I would love and I was like, I was like so infatuated with this guy too. Like, all I wanted to do was like spend time with him. So when he was like, yeah, I'll teach you how to play, and I was like, all right, sweet. And it really didn't click. Like, I just didn't get it for like a really long time. And you could tell that he was like starting to kind of get frustrated with me, that I just like wasn't getting it and whatever. So, and this was like online was a thing, but it was not the way it was now. But I remember, like, I like went into like some some online forum or whatever, and I was basically like, you know, like, I'm trying to learn how to play Magic so I can play, like, you know, with my boyfriend or whatever. Like, what's a really good deck for like a beginner, but like is like an actual like deck that can do something for a beginner, and that's like easy to learn. So, you know, so some people in this forum, no! I just wanted to pick those plants! So some people in the forum helped me build a deck. And I found out later on that, like, it was a gimmick deck, which is fine. Like, I don't care. Like, it wasn't a gimmick as in an illegal deck, but it was a gimmick as in, like, it was like, okay, don't judge my layman's terms, but it was like all monsters and energy and like no like skills or items or anything. So it was basically like all like hit points and power, like nothing, no spells. Okay, so it was like all monsters, all energy, like whatever. So I was like, okay, perfect. Okay, yes. Okay, I'm trying to remember like 15 years ago. Okay, so I challenged him, and I was like, you know, like, I've been practicing Magic. I'd like to play against you, whatever. And I demolished him with this deck. Like, no, like, he, like the longer we were playing, the more that I could tell that he was like, it passed like irritation, and it literally got to like, he was angry at me. Like, he was like, how did you learn how to do this? Like, who taught you this? Like, this is a burn deck. Like you got, like, this is a burn deck. Like, whatever. Like, he was so angry at me that when I won, he literally he did the whole and like scattered the cards or whatever. And he's like, I'm never playing with you again. And I've never played Magic since then. I've been practicing Magic. He Dane cooked the table. He literally, like, went like this and, like, pushed all the cards and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, he was not... Grandma's a cheating whore! Yeah. So, yeah, that was the last time I played Magic, and that was probably... God, 2007, 2009, maybe? It was a long time ago. That was the last time I played. Burn decks are brutal. See, I was just, like, trying to, like, do something to spend time with, like, my boyfriend, like, you know? I promise to have a similar reaction. You have to scatter all of the cards across the table, though. If you do not scatter the cards across the table, I don't want it. Don't worry. I'll take a shit on them, too. Just stand up on the table and drop trowel, like, fuck this! This burn deck. I've only played the pre-made commander decks. I've never... yeah, that's the last time I played. And what's worse, though, is, like, my prerequisite when people were helping me build this deck... My prerequisite when people were helping me build this deck was they had to be pretty. So it's all fairies and elves and fucking dragons. Like, it's so stupid. Wood elves and like fucking fairies and stuff. Moontear magic, exactly. I was like, it's kawaii. Oh god, it's so on brand. It is so on brand. People would show me cards and I'd be like, it's ugly. And they'd be like, but it's so powerful. I'm like, no. He got beat by the pretty. They would be like, use this, it's guaranteed to do this, this, and this. I'm like, I don't know what any of that means, but it's ugly. Oh god. Oh god, my face hurts. Alright, so I beat that guy, so now I can go back over here and I can make a weapon. This card's ugly, I don't want it. Exactly. I was like, get this shit out of here. They're like, this is literally the rarest and most powerful card in the game. And I'm like, get it out of here. I don't want this. Fantastic start. You're welcome. You're welcome. Ugh, I wonder how those guys on that forum felt. Okay, but this is why you need to play Gwent in Witcher. Listen, I played Gwent. I played a whole stream of just Gwent. I just didn't play it in the game because I was trolling you guys, because all you guys were like, Gwent! And I was like, Gwent? What's Gwent? And then I just pretended I didn't know what Gwent was the whole game. And that was great. Highlight this tail, please, for future use. I want to see you go, this is the only card I have to play, but it's ugly. I guess I lose. I just keep forfeiting my turn over and over again. Because I keep getting ugly cards. Refuses to play ugly cards. Yep, exactly. Alright, where's the lady I need to... Is this who? Yes. Make me a pretty deck. Make me a pretty deck and I'll play. Honestly, you can teach me magic on stream. If you make me a pretty deck and teach me magic on stream, I'll totally do that shit. I'll totally do it. It'll be fun. Yo, for real? For real! Yeah, wanna teach me magic on stream? Yeah. Yeah. Fucking noted, yeah. My friend has a squirrel deck. But we have to make a pretty burn deck. You can make just about anything? That's great. I'm sure I could do one that's like just elves or whatever too. That's so funny. There's a big tree over there? What big tree? There's lots of trees. We're in a forest. Except a Chimkin deck? Oh my gosh. How will you live? How will you live? How do I live without Chimkins? Only an unglued? Unglued. Gonna make a magic together based off your name, Nyx. You could probably actually do that, Nyx. Like, legit. Poultrygeist? Oh my gosh, that's great. Yaga. I want you to cosplay as the Poultrygeist. Figure that shit out right now. Figure that shit out right now. I'll make it a goal. No, legit, like, I want Poultrygeist stream. White, blue, black, red, green. White and green out of those choices. Well, green is my second favorite color. Pink and green are my two favorite colors. So white and green then. White, green, perfect, perfect. Envoy is like, I'm making a deck right fucking now. Ideas already brewing, amazing. I can't wait. Like, I'm legit excited. My commander's a unicorn, as long as it's pretty. As long as it's pretty. I like how he's gonna build me this whole tag. I'm like, this unicorn's ugly. I don't like it. As I'm twirling my hair. Literally, the twirling my hair was an accident, but it worked out perfectly. He's ugly. I don't like it. I don't like it. Why am I so on brand to myself? It's so bad. God, it's so bad. I literally am like my own stereotype. It's so bad. Oh gosh. Oh, too funny. Alright, so I need a Lionel horn now, right? Oof, I've only got the one. Yikes on bikes. Here, wait, come back, lady, I have it! Make me a magic channel in Discord so I can at you relentlessly. Okay, hold on, I'll literally do it right this very second. Bet. Bet. There you go. Hi, Laws. There you go. It's down in the entertainment center. Oh, here. The weapon you're holding, let me see. Here you go, look. That's no doubt about it. That's a weapon made from Lionelhorn. Yep, it is. 50, okay. Holy. Chat, we almost just died. Oh my god. Okay, that one's done. What other side quests do we have to do? Wait, have I not been over there? Or is that just not... Oh, it's just not done. Okay. I can't believe I beat a Lionel. You guys know how, like, rare that is for me? He did knock me a couple times. I did lose some fairies, which is kind of a bummer. Should eat some health, though. I should eat some health. I know words. I need to cook some food, too. Yikes. Which Lionel? Red. The red-maned one right here. He's like in this like woods. He's like right here. I should probably mark. He's like here-ish. You do eat to heal. No, I know, but like he would like When I say he was hitting me, like I would be like mid jump or like I would be like dodging, and yeah, it was a little sloppy. It was a little sloppy on my part. Lionels are hard for me though. Okay, Laz, do you remember? Maybe can I do it with? I don't have a big enough thing. Did they always do the over the head slam thing, like the 3 slam in a row thing? I don't remember them doing that in Breath of the Wild, but I realistically could just be remembering wrong because I didn't fight very many of them. But I don't remember them doing that, like, that 3 slam in a row, like, over the head thing. Oh, there's no way I can get up there. Where was it? My quality was super low, so I couldn't read. I'm not certain, but I used to do that. Yeah, so he does this, like, over the head, like, slam with his sword, but he does 3 in a row. So if you get knocked down the first time, I love it. So if you get slammed on the first one, you can't get up. You just keep ragdolling. It was like in this general area, like it's right before Tempest Gulch, so it's like in the North Akala Valley, like right here, like in this forest, kind of. It's more like right here-ish. But yeah, he's just a red main. Yeah, he did this over the head thing, and I was like, I don't remember him doing this before. And like I said, if you get knocked on the first slam, you just keep ragdolling, like you can't get up. Yeah. Also, I dyed most of my clothes. I dyed a lot of them pink, but I actually didn't dye all of them pink. I dyed my, what do you call it? My minor one. I did it white. I actually think it looks good. Oh, there's Laz. Let's trade. For this horrible, God, I hate it so much. Alright, so what's the next one? Is the next one gonna be the mask? The headpiece? I don't want it. I don't want it. I want the headpiece. What are those? What's this? Is it gonna be Gleeok Wing? 2 Gleeok Wings? What are Gleeok Wings good for? Other than, like, putting wings on arrows? Pink dyeing things pink. Never would have thought. Never would have thought. But look at this one. Look at this one pink. Okay? Like, look at this outfit pink. Look at it. It dyes his hair! Look at it! This one pink is a mood. Okay? This one pink is a whole mood. It dyes his hair and everything. But look, this one I did white. I did this one white, which I think looks really good. But I did this one orange. Look at the froggy one orange. Come on, look at that one. Look at that. Because it matches his little peetsies. His little peetsies. I almost went pink. Almost went pink. Armor upgrades? What did I just... what did I just ask literally a second ago? No, I didn't. What did I do? I had this one. Which one did I have on? What did I have? Oh, my stealth. I had my stealth on. Slip resistant Power Rangers. Oh, yeah. My orange one. Yeah, I didn't do that one. Gleeok Wings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was like, what did I just ask a second ago? The Gleeok Wings. Ooh, what do you upgrade with that? The flying? The gliding armor, maybe? Crazy. Alright, where's a fairy fountain? Because I want to see if I can upgrade anything. Here's one. Here's one. I feel like I'm talking a million miles an hour right now. Am I? Am I talking fast? Wait, what? Oh, behind. This way. I should see it soon. Why don't I see it? Hold on, Alphas. I need to start using these more. The dazzle fruits, they're pretty handy. Oh my gosh, how are those lizards getting away? You know what lizards suck? The sticky lizards. They're annoying. Hey Marbs, how are you? Welcome in. Wash them. The sticky lizards. I hate it here. Good? Good! I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad to hear it. Where is this? Over here? I like how I've gone the complete opposite direction because I heard a well, and I have to beat Astro. There it is. I have to beat Astro. I have to get more wells than Astro. Do I have new hair? Like, Link new hair? Or me new hair? Ooh. There's a lot of things down here. Me? No. I mean, I just did my hair. Oh, this is not water? I just did my hair different, I guess. A little different than I normally do. But nope, it's just my regular hair. Well, that clearly is not the answer to my problems. That's not it. That's not it either, game. Oh yes it is. Oh yes it is the answer. Just seem different things. Yeah, I had it down, and then I was like, I don't really want it like in my face. And so yeah, yeah. Sometimes you want to try different things and you're not quite sure until you do it, and then you do it and you're like, this is fine. This is fine. Oh, no. I hit the wrong button. There we go. Oh my god, I'm literally in I was literally in exactly where the well was. There you go. Yeah, we did it. We did it. Alright, so we did that well. And we're still in lead. Astro will never catch up with us. And now we have to go the other way to go to the fairy fountain. This is fine. Wait, where? This way? It's very different for what you're used to playing on Xbox. What have you been playing, Marbs? Yeah, it is different. It's definitely different. Mario Kart! Oh, that's so fun. I want to do a, like, community Mario Kart night, I think. It's time. I'll probably do one this weekend. I'm thinking of doing, like, a little mini subathon and just, like, stream all weekend. You know, we got these things at work. They're spicy gummy bears. And I'm like, there's some little gummy bear incentives, because I am gonna die. Never played it? Get high elixir stuff that doesn't heal you 11 hearts? Oh my gosh, what are you making? Are you making with fairies? Are you making it with fairies? But I don't think I'm on your level. People say that, but I am not really that good at Mario Kart. I'm not very good at Mario Kart. I just like to have fun. Okay, I can upgrade this one. So I think if you upgrade it all the way, she does pull you into the flower. But Steph's not here to see. Yeah, here it is. Steph wasn't here to see it. Bing. It's almost too beautiful. Okay. So I can enhance This is assault. You are not wrong. My climbing. Oh,
Huh?
I need the pants. I need the climbing pants. All right, guys, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do today. This is what we're gonna do today. We have like an hour and like 45 minutes. Yeah, like an hour and like 45 minutes. And we need to get we need to finish some armor sets. That's what we're gonna do. Kidnapping? I would agree. Oh my god. I guess we'll do this one. Close your eyes. Num num. Num num num. Is it kidnapping if they put you right back where they got you? Did anyone else's parents? This is kind of fucked up. Maybe I shouldn't say this out loud. But did anybody else's parents ever tell you, like, they'd bring you back if you got kidnapped? You're so annoying. My parents used to tell me that. My dad said that and worse. Yeah, my dad said a lot of shitty things. Atari 50. Mario Kart. Arknoid. I don't think I know Arknoid. And Overwatch 2. Nice. Streets of Rage 4. Nice. And they told me to, if I got kidnapped, to call someone else. No, they didn't tell me that, but they would be like, if you got kidnapped, they'd bring you back. You're so annoying. And told me I got hit a claw machine. Wow. That's so mean. Maybe I shouldn't have asked. I feel like I'm bringing up people's, like, repressed memories right now. Never got kidnapped. Well, that's good, Marbs. Enhance away. What else can you still enhance? Oh yeah, all those. But these are gonna use these use star fragments. I'm not using them. What's even the bonus of these? What's the bonus of these? Ma'am, you can't breathe on people. It's true. Where's her mask? Oh, why should put our mask on? We have a mask on, I forgot. We have a mask on. We have a mask. We're good. You told your wife that you would not start collecting for another system? It's not a collection. It's an investment. There you go. There you go. It's an investment. Right. Need to stop munching. I can't help it. My meds make me so snacky. Alright. Let's get treasure. I don't have any more X's on my map. The Xbox has gone way beyond investment. Oh, I tried. I tried Cruise and Blast and Raiden 5. Interesting. Those both seem fun. I tried. Oh yeah, I can do this one. He's departed? What? He's departed for this village in the southeast. Lurelin? Is that where I'm supposed to go? Let's try. I'm already off. I'm literally already off track. I was like, we're gonna get armor, and I'm like, side quest. This is why this game will never get finished. Speaking of, so I was looking at my Twitch tracker today because I have a problem. I don't want to talk about it. But Tears of the Kingdom is already my number 6 most streamed game. It's been out 2 weeks. It's my 6th most streamed game. And it's very close to being, I think, like my 3rd, because I think it's about to pass a couple other games. And I've gotten nothing accomplished. Who are you?
Oh.
Arms. Oh yeah, I have to repair everything in here, don't I? Don't I? I do. Hey McAwful, the game is going great. How was the rest of your stream? I had you up for a bit while I was cooking. And then, obviously, I came upstairs. So where else would Wartsword be? So I guess she cuts me some slack. But when I got the Splatoon OLED. And then we had the mashing controller. And what good is the Switch without some games? And so it begins. Yeah. That's how they get you, honestly. Nintendo is so good at that. Like, I hate to admit it. And I hate to admit that I fall for it. But when they release those, you know, those special editions that go with the games, you have to, you can't, you know? Gotta have all the stuff with it. Fun game, but I may have played a bit too much. No. No such thing. If you enjoy, you enjoy. Okay. Oh, can I take these fish? I can. Wireless headset and matching dock. I 100% am on the team of, like, getting an extra dock. I have a dock in here. In my gaming streaming room. I have one in my living room, like, on my TV, and I have one in my bedroom on my TV. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, McAwful. You're kind of just stuck. You're like, I like the game. I want to play the game. But there's nothing to do. Yeah, I get that. I'm not sure where this guy would be. This is the village to the southeast. Because he left Kakariko, right? Does he mean Hateno? Oh, no. He's going to Kakariko Village from Lookout Landing. Oh, that's kind of worded strange. That's kind of worded weird. The Splatoon dock, Splatoon Pro Controller, a dock upstairs, and one in the man cave. Uh-huh. That's what I'm saying. Nintendo knows what they're doing. Nintendo knows what they're doing. That was not a mistake. They know. Honestly, I've gotten really spoiled. I've gotten really spoiled playing Switch on my through my capture card on my PC. Because now I go to bed. I'm like, I'll want to play my Switch for a little bit before I go to bed. I'm like, I don't even want to play on this little tiny little screen. Steel Series? That's what I just got. I just got a Steel Series. I'm really excited about them. I really like them a lot. Hi, Jess. Welcome in. Yeah, I love mine. I got the Destiny headset. The Destiny 2 version, and I love them. They're so, like, the difference, like, I don't know where they went. Here they are. Like, the difference in, like, the weight between, like, my Logitech and my SteelSeries. Like, my Logitech is so flimsy. Like, look at, they're so flimsy, and these are, like, nice and, like, heavy duty. And they feel good on my ears. Like, they don't press against the side of my head. Like, I didn't know what was out there. Like, I didn't know what options were out there other than, like, Razer and, like, Logitech, you know? Because those are the big ones. Those are the ones everybody uses. And I was like, man, there has to be something else. And so I asked people on Twitter. And a lot of people recommended SteelSeries. And I was like, yeah, but that price tag. And then I saw on Instagram that they were releasing the Destiny one. And I know you can't really see it on camera, which is kind of a bummer. But it's chameleon. Like, it goes from, like, blue to, like... Oh, see, here you go. So, like, it goes to, like, this goldish kind of color. And it, like, fades into a blue and, like, it goes, like... See, oh, yeah, see, now it's, like, purple. Yeah, it's so cool. That would use the OLED screen. I spend pretty much time on the dock, yeah. The 5 wireless and 7. Yeah, this is the 7. This is the 7 Plus. The Arctis 7 Plus, yeah. I love it. Just RGB. I didn't get RGB, but I love the color. The color of the Destiny one is what sold me, honestly. Razer but SteelSeries is so much better. It is. And the sound is really good. And like I said, I have a lot of piercings. I know you can't really see them because I have a headset on. But I have a lot of piercings in my ear. In both my ears. And when they press against your ear like that, and they're like pressing my piercings into the back of my head, like... These are good. They're good. They fit. They fit perfect. And I'm always nervous to order a headset online. Because you can't try them on. You can't put them on your head. On the gate stand on 12 with Mikey and find time with the royal family. Okay. So might for remembrance okay, for sake of him on whom our hope rests. Oh, okay. Alright, we're in Sonya, yep. Shoots real sermon silly. Lives in 13 segments. Okay. Not cheap, but very well done. And you can get a replacement part. Only beef is the non-ability to replace the battery. I have seen, yeah, the new line. I was gonna say, the new line has replaceable batteries, because there's a streamer I watch who's sponsored by them. And she's always like, gotta change my battery, and she's like, click, click, like, it's like such a cool thing. I always, every time she does it, I'm like, man, that's so cool. 12 more stone tablets. Oh, I found a lot of them. Not 12, though. Maybe 4 or 5. There you go. Interesting. I'll get her translating. Okay.
Oh.
First hand. Okay. King was late. Come this evening, so mark the queen to share tales of her land, of shrines, of green glow, of early days since Hyrule, founding of diverse monsters, her Rome besieged on a sail. Siege and strike, they brought the despair. Folks, king and queen set themselves to bring Scourge to end. With might of light and power, driven back on the royal couple made the shrines to seal him away. This holy seal then kept shrines. This is so hard to read. Great king, great queen, thank ye. They fought when were maiden child. That could, I don't know. Different people, so they set up, okay. The creative structure is called Shrines of Play, okay. Okay. These are hard to read. These are really hard to read. Hi Char, how are you? Welcome in. How's things? That was such incredible history. Okay. 11. I have so many more. I have so many more. Man, I wish I found this earlier as I wouldn't have to do these one at a time. Oh, man. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
About to clock off work? Yes. Amazing. Amazing. So happy for you. Tuesdays are such a stupid long day for me because they're just like nothing. They're just like reports and just nothing. So Tuesdays are just a drag. But Wednesdays and Fridays always go quick. My hair is so cute. Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to try something different today. I don't really know why, but I just went with it. Okay, Queen Minoru, the king's elder sister, falls deep in her books, which that she forgets to eat. Okay. And then weird way down push. But you're something to little avail. On light treating, she constructs things she'd make with her hands as a vessel for spirit. I don't know. So said she, might she live long in spirit used within this construct. Minoru seems to hold and deceit. By my faith, I cannot all's truth. I can't believe the words she's saying, I think. Okay. Got your phone bottle popping. Thanks, Char. I appreciate it. That's like cute. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Like I said, I just wanted to try something different. Guys are making me blush. The original die. Okay. And he was a fellow researcher. Okay. Okay. Nice. Money. I have more. I've been collecting these like inadvertently the whole game because I've played enough Zelda games that I knew that these would be something, and I've just been taking pictures of them, and now I have to go through all of these. Okay, full fine is the waiter of this morn, and I have an audience with the princess been king for distant years to Queen Sonia. By grace, she has been given a name most sweet. Of Zelda, she has been eclept. She has been eclept. I don't know. Certain folks steered suspicion for strange were her garments, and sudden was her appearance. Okay. Yet wild, her countenance unbearing, marked proof of her right blood and bond to Queen Sonia. What? That just hurts my brain. I can't. Oh, okay. Zelda is described as Sunny's distant relative. According to this, she arrived in Hyrule unexpectedly from another kingdom. Beautiful princess. Strange clothing protects the people. Yep. No data it was royal birth. Okay.
Ah. Oh.
It's also fascinating. Try to be Chamberlain of the princess. Okay. That suggests real admiration. Oh my gosh. Okay, I haven't forgotten about it. Your reward. Yes, give me money. Give me money.
Ah.
Do we have more? No! I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that.
Ah. Mmm.
Amazing.
Oh.
I have more.
Oh.
Yep. Yep.
Oh. Ah. Hmm. Oh.
Okay, I'm late. Have I heard? Strange lady walks around the castle in the dark of night. She and Princess Zelda seem twins too, but what? I expect the walks, Princess Zelda. Nothing remembering.
Oh.
Mmm. Looking like Zelda.
Oh. Oh.
I see. So,
Ah.
wait, but we saw that already in,
Oh.
we saw that already in one of the memories.
Oh.
That, Ganon was taking the form of Zelda. Like, we already saw that.
Oh.
Wait, you're saying there's 8 left? There's no way there's 8 of these stars left. Oh my god, there's one here I haven't done. Oh, wait, I can't. Oh yeah, there's one here. Okay. Damn, are there really 8? Holy shit! Chat! This is like 4 I've already found. This is bad. Look at that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 right here that I found just looking for like a second. There's another one. I can't reach some of these, I feel like. Or I would have, right? Got that one already. See, it's a good thing they do the tablet thing when you zoom. Damn. Alright, well. Let's start over here, I guess. Over here. We are so distracted. I literally was like, let's do armor, and now we're doing stars. It's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's called distractions. Man, I wish I could get some star more. Alright. Where's our star? I don't even see it yet. No, I'm naked. Can I not make this one? Oh, this one is... Where? Is it further up? Oh, he's over there. I see it. Okay. Alright. Easy. Easy. We will... We'll do this. Nice catch, Wolfie. This is probably a bad idea. Like, realistically, it's, like, probably a really, really bad idea. But it's fine. Why am I cold? I have cold resist. Alright, chat. About to make some bad choices. It did exactly what I needed it to do. Go over here. Exactly. Or some great ones. It did exactly what I needed for it to do. There's no way I'm this cold right now. Link, you're a wuss. All they did was change my little hat. You're a bitch. You're a little bitch, Link. Alright, where is this thing before it falls? That's what likes to happen with these things. Okay, it's on this side. Okay. Oh, this one's not gonna fall? Love to see it. Okay. This one's done. Broseph. I see you, Broseph. I see you. Where's our next target? Over here. Should I try from here? Let's try from here. Let's try from higher up above. See. Let's see. Alright, which direction? Behind us? Ah! Not there. Not into the temple. Please no! I saw it coming. I saw it happening. Alright, is it up? Star! Where are you, Star? Oh, there's a dragon. Which dragon are you? You're Farouche. You're Farouche. Oh, I found. I won't make that. Maybe I will. It is Farouche. It's kind of sad that I can tell the dragons just by their horns. kind of sad. I don't know why. I love the noise. I love the little he makes when he flies. I love it. It's so dumb. It's almost time. Are you ready? It's almost time. It's so satisfying. I don't know why. Okay, I gotta get ready in case this one falls. It's not falling. I love to see it. Okay. What do you have in your little vending machine? Well. Wait a second. Does that ever go away? I don't think I've been here. All of this is covered. Oh. It literally goes like this. Huh. I wonder how you get up there. I wonder how you get up there. Whoop. Running into everything, breaking everything. My gosh, guys. My gosh. Okay. Ooh, Dargon. Who are you? Are you Nadra? I think you're Nadra. You are Nadra. I will fly to you, Nadra. I need your claw. I need your claw. Wait, have I done this? No. I have ferocious. Give claw or else. I don't think I can. Oh, maybe I can. I was gonna say, I don't think I can catch up with him. With her. I guess they're all girls, because they're the goddesses, the goddesses reincarnated or whatever. Are you going into this butthole? Ma'am! Ma'am, are you descending into this butthole over here? I'm gonna run out of stamina. Wait, is this? Oh, it is, okay. I was gonna say, is this Light Dragon? I keep seeing the Light Dragon above, but I haven't seen it down here yet. I don't think I can catch up with this dragon. We're close enough. Do you think with a wing I can shoot it? Shit! Oh, I might actually be close enough. I might only be able to get the tail. I need a claw, I need a claw. I need a claw, I need a claw. No, please don't go down. No, please, I need one of your beautifully manicured claws, please. Alright, that's gotta be close enough. Ooh, and there's a Korok right there? I want to try something I saw on TikTok when we get down there. Where's my... Wings? Where's wings? Oh, I don't want to use those. I only have a few of those. Here we go. Do it! Hit the foot! Yes, we did it. Drop, like, right where the Korok is, because that'd be great. No, of course not. Where'd it go? Oh. Did it! Got a nature claw. Okay. So, I want to try... Look at how pretty she is. Wait, is she going down in the butthole? I think nature is my favorite. What is that? What is that? Is that the Temple of Time? Yeah, that's the Temple of Time. Okay. Alright, so for the 900th time, I want to try something that I saw on TikTok, but I don't think I can make it. I like nature. Yeah, nature's my favorite of the dragons. Hold on. Literally, hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. I thought I heard my dog make a noise, and I panicked, but she's fine. She's just having a dream. I thought you didn't slip in the froggy armor. Like, I thought that was the whole point of the frog. Seriously? That was the whole point of the froggy armor. Why, like... Why do I feel like this is just not working for me, for me right now? Oh my gosh. Alright, let's go back over here. I want to just... It's, like, right here. Like, it's literally at the top of this. I just need to get up here. Froggy lies? No kidding, Froggy lies. Like, what the heck? Okay. Launching again. Where was I going? What is that? What is that? an entire island made of, what you call it? Luminous stone? What is this? I've been over here, obviously. What? Wait, really? That's all this entire island is luminous stone? Why? Like, what's the use of luminous stone other than... You son of a bitch. Other than feeding it to those things. Oh. Be something good. Oh, a ruby. A ruby. That's it? That's really all that's like on this entire thing up here? Probably selling. It's no fun. Hmm. Wait, there's something on the Zonai dispenser that I haven't gotten yet? That seems sus, don't you think? How is there something in this Zonai dispenser that I don't have? Like, how? Alright, well, what do I have that I can deposit? Alright, give me whatever this is new thing. What? It's still a question mark? Oh, no. Man, I got really excited. Like, I thought it was legit something that I, like, didn't have yet. What is this? Alright, let's finish this stupid thing. I haven't done anything that I wanted to do today. I haven't done anything that I wanted to do today. It's okay. Is this the one that I think it is? Shit. Okay. You can blind enemies in daytime using a mirror shield? Huh. Does that make sense? Alright. I, like, vaguely remember this one being a pain in the ass. There's chaos on his gacha game. Okay. Okay, so this one goes here. And then I stick it to one of these platforms. Not platforms, one of these. And it should... Perfect. And then... if we do this right... it should slide down here. Okay. And then it should go across just fine. And then, why did... Yeah, we lost it, didn't we? Oh, no, we didn't. Okay, good. I know, like, I know what happened. I know that I hit the thing, but my foot hit it, which made me stop running, or stop flying. But it was the fact that I went to go... I hit the jump button to, like, put my paraglider out, and he just, like, didn't. Yes, I do, Laws, because this is not the first time I've tried this one. Oh, I'm not going straight. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. No, there's no fucking way that I just did this first try and I spent like 2 hours on this one time and could not get that stupid thing to fly straight. My wife and I noticed you across the shrine. Can we buy you a drink? I know, right? Look at, that's what they look like, right? That's kind of what they look like, creeping over there like creepers. Okay, so we finished that one. Alright, are there any other shrines we can finish? I think you weren't going to the area with the fan and that was the problem. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, what else do we have? That one's done. So technically this one behind us? Technically, I just don't know if we can reach it from here. I don't know if we can reach it from here. I guess we'll see. No, I know what you meant before. Because that time, obviously, it worked. I don't know. I honestly don't know what was happening. Alright, where is the star? This way? Oh, it's over there. I did get the chest. It was on the side, wasn't it? Right, it marks it, right? Yeah. If you have the chest, it means you've collected them, right? Health check. Yes, I've drank water. I ate dinner. I will take my meds in probably about a half hour. Because last time I took them, they knocked, like, I was, like, so tired so early. Either way, I did it. Either way, it's done. I wanna fight a Gleeok, man. Yeah, Laz, I'm like 99.9% sure that the chest next to the name means that you've collected all of the chests. $4 weeks? Dang. That's like so young. Okay. Next is this one. The stupid froggy armor. It's so silly. Okay. This one. Behind. Is it above? Oh, this way. I was right the first time. Wait, where's the... Oh my god, there's no way I can make that. Oh wait, there's one right there. I'm so silly. I'm so silly. Is this the labyrinth, though, that I've been trying to get to? Can I make that? Oh, I might have to try for the labyrinth just because I haven't been able to make it over here yet. At least that way I can get the shrine. Maybe. Oh my gosh, I might actually make this. Do I have the stamina? Do I have the stamina is the question? Guys, I really want to do more community stuff. But I hate that, like, Netflix and, like, Hulu and stuff have started blocking, like, screen shares of their stuff. And I haven't figured out a way around it yet, if anybody else has shit. I haven't figured out a way around it yet, which is a bummer, because I want to do, like, movie nights and stuff again, you know? Like, those were fun. I am cold. Oh, I am cold. I'm almost there, please. I'm almost there. My hat on. That's not warm enough? Oh, okay. So put it all on. Oh, I didn't dye this set. It's fine. Alright, we are over it now. Oh my gosh. This is insane! North Lome Castle top floor. I can't tell what that is. So it's an activating thing, right? With your hand? Yeah. An activating thing. Ah, come on. Alright. Oh my. Oh my. We've got no floors. Hold on. I should probably activate the thing, shouldn't I? Wait, can I not climb this wall? Oh no. Oh no. soon as I hit the wrong button, the second I go to go jump. I hate this. God, I hate jumping sometimes. He's so sloppy. Like, Link is just so sloppy, I swear. Can I reach? Oh. Well. Where the hell do I go from here? Like, I have to just go down? Like, I have to just lose all of this progress? Man, just honestly... I swear, my... What is this? X? My X button is just... so inconsistent. I'm really bummed out right now. I don't know where to go. How do I save this? How do I save this? How do I save this run? I cannot. There's no way of fixing it. I've lost it all. Oh, I haven't. Alright. We're holding on for dear life. We're holding on for dear life. No! That's the problem, Laz! I didn't get the shrine. I fell through. That's the problem. I'm telling you, like, I'm not trying to, like, make excuses. Like, I legitimately think my X button is just, like, it's just like, how I miss jumps all the time, even though I hit the buttons. I really think that my, my jump button is just either broken or loose or sloppy or something. Make a bird with fans. Game. Oh my lord. Oh, I did it. Okay. I didn't completely... I didn't completely screw up! Oh, I didn't completely screw up. Okay. 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 We didn't completely screw up. You just had to do first aid on your dog. Kind of made you queasy. Gross. Or balloon. So... Right quick. Oh, actually, I think they're in here. Hold on. I feel like I've been eating too many chips, and my controller feels a little icky. I'm going to clean it really quick. Alright, I don't... wait, is this just a blessing? Or find the ascend spot? Yep, or find the ascend spot. Which is exactly what I just did. Let me just wipe my controller super quick. I'm gonna turn it off so I don't activate anything. Wipe all this down. Or just turn controller right back on immediately. That's fine too. Nope. 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 Okay, just before I fuck something up. Yeah, I know how to pair my control. Like, nobody asked you. I know how to pair my controller. Thank you. Okay, just before I screw anything up, because it's a little queasy right now. Okay. Much better. Alright, we don't need to ascend. Is this a blessing? Please tell me this is just a blessing. Please be a blessing. And that I don't have to do something and do this labyrinth as well. No, of course not. Of course it's a fucking... Of course it is. Of course it is, because why would they just bless me with stuff here? Even though it was a pain in the ass to get up here. Okay. So this is gravity. For those who don't want to build. It wasn't even that I didn't want to build. It was like, I didn't want to lose all of the progress I made. This is like... Shit. Okay. I don't need you. I don't need you. Yeet me. Yeet me. This ball's gonna follow me, watch. Oh, it didn't. Okay. Oh, I didn't. Wall? Oh, I have to go back, don't I? Because I actually did drop the ball. Not metaphorically speaking. Okay. Can I go with it? I can. Okay. Now. I get it! No! Ah! Fuck! No, no, no! I understand! No! Damn. Damn. Is it gonna come back? Oh my gosh. I understood too late. Come back. Come back, ball. Come back. Nice. Do it. I'm unstoppable. I do have to figure out the the treasure. It's right over there though. I bet I could just glide. I bet I just turn gravity back off and glide. But no, I can do that. Okay, I'll do that. It's like I don't want to like have to get back up here, but it's fine. There's a rewind cheese. There's always a rewind cheese. This whole game is rewind cheesing. Or you can be skilled. I can't do that. Come on. Look who you're talking about. Cheese. Cheese sounds good. Cheese. You know what sounds real good? Some cheese pisha. Cheese pisha sounds so good right now. Okay, did. I did it. Oh yeah, what were we doing? The labyrinth? Oh no. Okay. Alright, now we have to go back out and do this labyrinth shit. Which I have no idea how we're gonna do. Oh, I have the hiccups. Okay, North LeMay Castle, top floor. Open. Oh, it did open. Those who set foot in my labyrinth of the sky, I offer a test of wisdom. 4 terminals are hidden in this maze. Activate them all. Open sesame. Because I didn't want to time it. That's so funny. Okay. So this is wind. Wind. Oh my lord. How the heck do you do this? Whee! Are you? Are you? Well. Okay. Heck. I wonder, like, what they actually look like, though, is what the real question is here. It's like, what am I looking for, you know? Wait, here's something. What am I looking for? I've gone in circles. I haven't made any progress. I don't even, like, I don't know what I'm looking for, though. I feel like they're gonna be, like, hidden. They're not gonna be, like, just out. This way. And then this way. See, there's, like, a little resty area right here. A little rest-a-roonies. And then you do this. Okay, and then this way. And this way. And this way. And not that way? Yes, it's gotta be that way. Come on. Come in. Oh, here's one. Right? Is this one? Is this one of them? Is this counting? Yes, okay, perfect. Oh, so they're literally just things. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Can you eat me, please? I need a little bit of oomph, please. Can I have wind, please? Nice. Okay. So that was that one. Wait, is this one? Did I just get this one? Am I stupid? No, I didn't just get this one. Nice. Oh, so it's just the 4 corners? Is that what it is? Okay. Boop. And then boop. See, I found this before I was supposed to find it, and the game was like, no, no, no. What do you think this is? Okay, there we go. Up. Now. Make our way to another corner. Am I going in a circle? I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. This is a bit of a snag here because how? Oh, I guess I can literally just go around then, can't I? This way, this way, this way. I gotta go down. Get my wind here, okay? This way, this way, this way, this way. Wait, why is it? Am I blood moon? Is this about to be a blood moon? It is. It is, isn't it? Woohoo! So I don't fly around endlessly? Okay. It's probably a good idea. I can't believe it got a blood moon right here. That's so funny. Alright, that's one. Okay. And then it's just got this last one, right? Wait, on the top? Oh geez, how do I get back up top now? There's gotta be a gust that's gonna get me all the way up there. I have to go all the way. All the way up. How do you get back up now? I did. Do I have to go this one? There's the one on top now, right? Is it on top or is it below? I guess that's the question. You can climb the walls? Nuh-uh. No, you can't. These ones? Wait, from the bottom? From the ground? No. Alright, I have to figure out how to get back to the top. See, I flew from above when I came through here. Right, is it above or is it below? The walls are on the edges. Okay. Hold on. I have to find somewhere to go. Here? No, hold on, I need to drop down because I need to bust. There we go. Alright, get me over this. And then... There's gotta be a way to get up. Like, there has to be. There's gotta be an up somewhere. Oh. Okay. There has to be some place to get up. And I'm just not seeing it. Like, what about one of these little alcoves? Do any of these little alcoves have a place we can go up. Fuck. Okay. See, like... Why is it not giving me a gust, though? Like, why is it not giving me, like, a big... There we go. Okay. Okay, this is definitely not it. That's definitely 100% a bust. Okay. Alright, so what if I do this? What if I just go out, back to the temple, or back to the shrine, and climb that way? Like, seems so stupid and out of the way, but what can you do? Time's at 10? Alright, probably. After this, I'll probably call it. So I get a gust here. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Okay. It won't let me go up further than that. There we go. Okay. That's a decent climb there to start. Hopefully we can make the rest. Is that... Yeah. It feels like this is not... It feels like this is not the most effective way. Like, it feels like there is a much smarter way to be doing this. God, I'm cold. I'm not sure I'll make this. Maybe I can stand right here. Nope, stand, just stand. There we go. There we go. Okay, so it's a little cheese, but we might make it. Oh yeah, we'll make it. We'll make it. We'll make it. Spacing out. Sorry. Spacing out. We're so close. Should I risk it? Should I? Oh yeah, I've got plenty of stamina. Okay. The last one was in here. It's inside this thing. See, you're supposed to be able to get in here, right? We did this last time? Yeah, here it is. Whee! Wait. How are you gonna... There, so you could have gotten over here this whole time? I just didn't see it. Whatever. 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 Yeah, apparently you could have gone... from the back, but I didn't see it, so whatever. I flew around what felt like forever. Whatever. Game. Okay. Whee. Okay, now this is gonna open the one in the depths, right? Is that what's about to happen? Let's have traversed this maze, Mark. Well, my words. Oh, I have to crack my back. Yeah. Nope, doesn't want to. Okay. Pull apart the bars in the labyrinth of the land that has obstructed your path below ground. Oh, okay. From high above to far below, prove your courage by diving into the... Oh my god, this is scary! The final way shall open to you. Oh my gosh, this is terrifying. I know what I need to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. All right, let's put our suit on now before we go down there. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so cold. I can't even put my suit on. I have to put my thing up. No. Okay, I'm so scared. Like, I know that it's like literally telling me to do it, but everyone cover your eyes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jeebus. Oh, Jeebus. Oh, Jeebus. Oh, my nose itches. Oh, my nose itches. Alright, now can I change my clothes? Yes. What? I can't see anything. I can't see anything. I can't see anything yet. I'm gonna die because I'm gonna hit the ground. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. Oh. Oh, okay. Is there's not a light route down here for me to see anything? The heck? What the heck? Ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. How are you supposed to do this? Oh, is it just the construct? It's gotta be, right? Ah, fuck. Which one of these pose? I just want the pose! Yeah, see, I'm back here. I'm literally right back here. Okay. Alright. Alright, alright. Let's use our thing. Very big boy, but yes. Okay. Let's do... Okay. Oh, come on. Is it? It's in the back, but where? Oh, it's on top. He moves it around. Oh, he constantly moves it. Oh, okay. Oh, that's new. That's new because of, yeah. Gimme. Gimme. Give it to me! Break it up. There we go. The Master Sword's already out of energy? Jeez. Okay. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. He's moving his weak point around. Ooh! That, Tulin, that was beautiful. Oh, Tulin, that crit was absolutely beautiful. No, gimme. Oh, he's moving it. He's protecting it, he's moving it. Shit. Crap. Oh my god, hearing the Tulin hit it and just the ping, it's so good. It's so good. Oh wait, hold on. Can you? No, hold on. I'm gonna try this. I've never tried this before with him throwing the things at you. How do you do that then, I wonder? Wait, can I? Hold on. Do I like throw? Okay, do I throw these at him? This is the part that like I kind of had to just like wait because I don't know. Do you throw? Hold on. Well, it'll help if I don't die. Do you just throw these back at him? Like I don't. This part I don't quite get. Come on! Oh god. I will say though, my biggest gripe with this game is how long it takes for Link to get up off the ground after he's hit. Alright, I don't... Where is that? There it is. Come on, come on, we're so close. Don't let him go. Don't let him go back up. No! No, let him go back. Oh, that hit me. I had the right idea with rewind. Really? Really? That's interesting. It just like didn't do anything after I hit him though. What do I have weapon-wise? Oh god, nothing. Right. Okay, let's do this. To the labyrinth of this depth. Give me treasure! This trial is a test of your talents. In overcoming it, you have shown yourself strong of body, skill, and mind. Great. I'm so glad I proved myself. I commend your achievement and offer a fitting reward. Armor wreathed in otherworldly evil. What game? What game are you playing? I was popping off. Slime Rancher. Ranching some slimes. What is this? Is this gonna be the barbarian armor or something? Evil Spirit Grieves. Wait. I don't want this. I don't want Ganon pants. Panin. I don't want Ganon pants. It's an empty head, no thoughts game. No thoughts. Is there a light route here? There is, right? There's a light route on top of this. No? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Don't be deceived, game. Okay. Just gonna reveal this, because that's all that's over here. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, look, there's one over there. I also have to find more bargainer statues so I can get more stuff. Pose down here. Oh, there's a lot of pose down here. Oh my god, so we'll start over here and then we'll go over, I guess. Sheesh. No, I don't want to deal with you. Rocks. Rocks. No, I'm trying to pick up Poe. Not activate wind. Does anybody else do that? Does anybody else just constantly activate their sages anytime they're trying to do something? And then of course, like, because I keep activating them on accident, doing nothing, when I go to activate them because I need them, they're not charged. Oh, the life. Oh, bombs. Just the one? Wow. Alright, it's kind of a waste, but real quick, I'm gonna go back here. Just because I had a better advantage to be able to see. Yaga, have you picked your game? Have you picked a game yet? Have you picked a game? Around so likely no Apex. Yeah, so no Apex. Probably that also probably means no density. No density. Is that the only one over there? Bait and fish. Eh. If we're gonna do like monotonous nothing, I would just play this and grind out my armors. Sure, Tulin. If you say so. Where does this go? Like, I see that there's no light route, but where does this go? We could Overwatch, but I don't know if we feel sweaty. No, because we're gonna be sweaty tomorrow. I mean, we could always just, like, just chill. I mean, we could, I guess we could sail if you want to just sail the two of us, but you know how that usually turns out when it's just the two of us. I mean, we could chill and we could just do our separate things together. Or... Ooh, I want to mind that. Or we could... I mean, we could play Suns, but there's an update, so I have to download the update, which I can't do until I end stream. And we could power launch. Selling us poop when we get targeted. Yeah, but I mean that's only if that's what happens. Like, it doesn't happen every single time. But it sucks when it does, and it makes me not want to play. I don't get the creepy music at these little tower things. Yes, yes. Yeah, we'll think about it. I mean, I'm good to keep doing this. But you asked to play something, so I did want to extend the offer if you wanted to. But if you're good chilling, I'm good chilling. Why is there no light route here? I'm okay with vibing. Okay, I'll play this for a bit. And if, you know, if something comes up, if either of us have an idea or whatever. Like, I actually, like... I do want to get back into Suns, but I feel like it's just not a good time right now because, like, they're changing stuff. Like, every time, like, every couple of weeks there's, like, an update and they're like, yeah, we moved this and we changed this, and it's just like, okay, so, like, what the like, what's the fucking story now? But I do want to get back into it. Like, I do want to play. That's the problem. It's like a... It's a double-edged sword. This way? Yeah, this way. Okay. The story is, we got Virginia pants. We do. We have pants. Astro and I found her dress, which is really cute. She wears these little sandals. These little sandals on her peetsies. Which Astro hates because you can see her peetsies. Her little ballerina peetsies. Oh, poor little baby looks so cold. I know. In her little bathing suit in the snow. Oh my gosh, poor thing. Poor thing. Poor thing. Alright, I need to see. First of all, I need to see. No. Second of all, I need to get over there. Ooh, those ones are bright. Giant bright blooms are like where it's at for sure. Look at that. Alright. Going this way? It's so hard to see down here when I'm streaming because the lights make it hard to see against the darkness. So I'm like, exploring the depths on stream is very difficult to do. And I feel like I'm like this because I'm trying to like darken, like, you know, around my eyes to be able to see. All three of them readied their weapons, like they were ready to go. This way? No. This way? This way? Oh my god, wrong way. What the God, the fact that anything hits you in the gloom makes you lose a heart is so unfair. There it is. There it is. Alright, get these hearts back over at the light route, but still, it's annoying. Okay, we're so close. I can't see. Yeah. Something's in my way. Trees. Oh my gosh, okay, so close. This is ridiculous. Having a horse down here, like I know you can get the stall horse. I had to think of what it was called for a second. I know you can get the stall horse, but it's not the same. But having a horse down here would be so OP. Instead of 7 hearts on its own. Yeah, you're right, Luz. You're right. You're right. Alright, I can get rid of this pin now. Okay. What is that? I need to go there. Take me there. I wanna go there. I need to go over here. Oh, this is the Yiga, I bet, right here. Isn't there a Yiga hideout right over here? Oh, it's not. Wait, wasn't there a Yiga somewhere that I saw on the way here? Did Sidon just hit a keys into me and freeze me? Oh, that's so funny. Oh, a white one with armor? That's not fair. Oh, they're all white with armor. That's not happening. Nope. No, I'm not interested. Thank you. I'm so not interested in fighting all these silver ones with armor on. Bro, how do people play this game? Everything wants to kill me all the time. Alright, I've got a thing. Does a lot of damage, kind of-ish. Kind of does some damage. Alright, I've got distance though. I've got range, I've got range. Nope, no, 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 no! Oh my god! I'm the best! Okay. Okay, that's one weapon down. That's fine. What else do we have? Fuck it, let's use this guy. Make him get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Boing. 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 What's up? Hiya. Wait, can I pick it up? Oh, I can. Okay, let's use... Shit, this is two-handed, but it's gonna be strong. No, fuck, no, fuck, 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 fuck. Fuck, turn around, turn around. God, two-handed weapons are so bad. So bad. That two-handed weapon almost got me killed. Okay. I don't feel like dealing with you. Oh, I've got 2 left. Where'd he go? Oh, he's here. No! Alright, do the swing, do the swing. Go, go, go. Oh my god, he can't move. This is amazing. He can't move. I have a whole nother stamina bar. Amazing. Oh my god, that was so clutch. That was so clutch. Yeah, I see you up there. So... How do I... Oh, oh, here we go. I was gonna say, how do I beat the ice likes, but beat them with fire. Can you... And then you can do this. Oh my god. I still don't like them laws. That didn't change anything, trust. I was just able to plan ahead. I was able to plan my attack ahead of time. Nope. What? I was mid-jump. Okay. Ah, that was really annoying. All right, so we've got one more life left. And then we can mine all this in peace. No, I still don't like two-handed swords. Like I said, I really was only able to pull it off because I was able to time it really well. But otherwise, yeah, it would have been. Come on. Well, I still have Reju. That'd be great. Jeez. Incredibly useful as long as you can. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, if I have time to get into that spin animation, great. But if I don't have time to get in that spin, I'm screwed. You know. Like, you can't get. Like, if you've got someone swinging at you, there's no way that you can get. I got 2 hunter shields from that. Are you kidding? I just don't feel like there's a way that you would be able to get your weapon out and spin it faster than basically any enemies are gonna be able to hit you. It's basically if you've got distance and you've got the time to get your wind up. Hey, that's just me. Oh, okay, so what I wanted to try in that Korok puzzle earlier that I didn't get to do because it was raining and I couldn't climb. I saw on TikTok that you can use the end of a weapon that's got a rock on it. So, like, let's say, like, this black spot right here is where you're supposed to put the Korok, okay? Like, let's just say, for example, you can do this, and it'll count as putting a rock down, and it'll activate the Korok. But I haven't tested yet. I've only seen it on TikTok. If they aren't stupid, yeah. But they are stupid. NPCs are stupid. There's nothing? There's gotta be a shrine over here. There has to be a shrine somewhere over there. Somewhere. Aim directly at the driver or overturn the vehicle so the driver falls off. That's funny. Okay. Yes, I know I'm cold. Yes, I am cold. Look at how this looks look at how awesome it looks though. With the snowflakes. Oh my god, it looks so cool. Alright, now he's cold though. He's cold. A leg itches. Okay. So there's gotta be a shrine somewhere over here. I don't see one. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. where, like, where's, like, the light route in the middle, then? Yeah, this is the water temple. I don't need this. Okay. So here, there has to be something here. Like, where this tower is. What was I doing here? What was I doing right here? Alright, so there has to be something. I have no... Where are all my markers? There's two there, there's one there. Satori Mountain I want to go to. Oh, this is done. This one's done. I can go to this. Okay. So, I need to look in this direction. Just this general direction here. I bet there's one underneath one of these, like, ice caps or something. Can't see through the cloud. That's the stable. Wait, there's a stable there? Yes, there is a stable there. Okay. So this direction. There's gotta be something over there. There just has to be. You know what I should do? So I should turn my sensor back. Oh no. Wait, wait. Here we go. What? It's a Gliok. Okay, so I did that because that's the horse. There's one over there, which I've done. See, here's... Okay. There's no way that there's nothing here. Is there a shrine quest? Like... There's one way the fuck over there, but that's... not it. Is that... Hold on. Is that the shrine? Wait, where's the shrine? Right behind that? That seems... silly. That's cool. There's like a lot of space over here. Like I bet you that there's one like right here. That's my bet. That's my bet. Maybe it's like a shrine quest or something. But that's my bet. Let's see. This way. Man, I just wish it wasn't so cold. Just look at how much distance you lose when you're not flying. Dang, I really thought, unless it's low, or unless there's a shrine quest, or something else. See? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Here it is. I knew it. And it's right there. Where is it? I just saw it. It's right there. Look. Clever, clever. Clever, clever game. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that there's no way that there was a light route down there. Or that there wasn't a light route down there. I'm telling you, see? Look. Look at how close I was. There might still be one, like, here, though. Okay. Oof. 6. This isn't a fast travel spot now, is it? It is. Okay, hold on. I can go. Alright, this is what we're gonna do. Cover my shoulder so people don't think I'm using my body for views. Alright, I need arrows first. Honestly, I should be responsible and I should end stream here, but we're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this. This is probably a bad idea, but we're gonna finish this. I've done none of the things that I said I was gonna do today. So we're gonna do this Talus. Hi driver, welcome in. How are you? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, dudes day. My hair's cute. Everyone keeps saying that. Apparently I gotta do my hair like this more. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Where's Beedle? Oh my god, he's so far away. Beedle, why? You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Honestly, it was one of those things, like, I literally just, like, threw it. Like, I just threw it up before stream. Like, I didn't really try or anything. It's always how it is. Like, I didn't try. Like, I have, like, minimal makeup on right now. Like, dang, guys. Like, I'm not trying no more.
Wow.
Okay. Alright, how many is that? That's what, 30? Okay. Pff, I'm about it. You say that now. Where else is close? Where else is close? Nothing's close, I guess. So... here? What'd you have for dinner tonight? I had baked beans, potato salad, pasta salad, and a leftover hot dog from yesterday. What did you have for din driver? I would kill for some Sonic, but your girl is broke, and she needs to save some money for a couple weeks. With life, finds a way. Leftovers. Chicken enchiladas? Oh, that sounds actually really good. Yeah, chicken enchiladas are good. fire. They're so good. So this weekend, guys, Saturday and Sunday, I'll be doing like a mini little like subathon, tipathon kind of thing. I'm going to buy a package of, it's called the Berry Hot Challenge. It's a package of like really spicy gummy bears. And if you know me, you know I don't handle spicy very well. So I'm gonna do like, I'm thinking like every like $10 or $20 or so, I'll do a gummy bear. Because I am in a not so great financial situation right now. So I figured, you know, do what I can and see how it goes. Oh? Why do you say oh? Oh, it's gonna be bad. My poor, like, not to be gross, but like, my poor booty hole is gonna be not having a good time. I was gonna say, my poor booty hole's not gonna be having a good time. But also, like, I don't anticipate a lot of it. Like, I don't anticipate a lot of people doing it. So, like, I might be fine. Okay, what was I doing? What was I doing? What was I doing? Oh, here. Up here, up here. Right here. Just don't eat food and you won't poop. Easy peasy. Right. It will. I won't have anything to do with the gummy bears. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I have a couple days left to kind of plan, figure things out, put some last minute touches on it. You know, and we'll do a good 10 or 12 hours each of those 2 days. I have a hard time asking for help, and a lot of my friends have been like, you need to get better at asking for help. So this is my way of asking for help. I knew it. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to run away from this. Super independent. I am, like, and I'm a firm believer in it's my responsibilities are my responsibility, and it's not anybody else's job to pay my bills or, you know, like, it's nobody else's responsibility to take care of me other than me. And there are some times where, like, I will be like, it's my responsibility, and people will be like, but you are literally struggling right now. Like, let us help you. You know, like, Yaga has been to the point where she's been like, shut up. Like, I am going to help you. You're not asking me to help you, but I'm going to help you because you need it. You know, and it's like, it's hard for me. I'm trying. So yes, so this is my way of asking for help without asking for help, but also still. Oh, really? Okay. We love you. Thanks, driver. Thanks. But yeah, so this is me asking for help, but not wanting it to be for nothing. So, you know, going to help, and you're going to see. That's what Yaga does. That's my motto. I will help you, and you have no choice in the matter. And that's what she says. And I'm always like, yes, ma'am. And she's always like, now go do this, and go do this, and be good. And I'm always like, yes, ma'am. You provide entertainment, and we will compensate you for your entertainment. Exactly. And my poor tummy and my poor booty will be suffering for it. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about me. Alright, I have the feeling if I keep him defrosted... Fuck! God, he hits so hard! And I can't run in snow! Okay. Nope. Take your arms off. You cannot have arms. No frozen arms. No. God damn it. God damn it. All right. I just... What do I do? Wait. 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 Before... Because I know Laz is going to answer, and I think I've already figured it out. I have to upgrade these for frozen resist. That's what it is. And then he won't freeze me anymore. I think. If I remember that. That was you today earlier with Kingdom Hearts 2. I want to replay Kingdom Hearts. There's so many games from my childhood I want to replay so bad. I need to hook up all my old systems. Like, I have my Wii, I've got my PS2, like, I have all my old stuff I want to play so bad. I want to play Kingdom Hearts. I want to replay Kingdom Hearts. I never played 3. Alright, I need a Great Fairy Fountain. Where's one that's a little closer? This one's kind of closer. Well, none of them are really close. Like, they're all a little bit... It's not terrible. Okay. Moving to the bed. Okay. Has them free to play if you don't... I don't have Plus anymore. I don't have Plus anymore because I don't play on my PlayStation anymore, so I got rid of Plus. Computer repair tech job isn't even paying 20 an hour. I've seen retail jobs paying 20 an hour here. Dang. I am not... Like, I'm a retail employee by technicality, but, like, I'm not, like, a store, like, retail employee, if that makes sense. Like, I work in retail, but... Anyway, point being, like, I don't even make 20 an hour, and I'm, like, a licensed fucking pharmacist. Pharmacy tech. Pharmacy tech. Because when you say pharmacist, people get all fucking up in arms. I don't think I have the stuff. I think I need choo-choos. I don't think I have any choo-choos. I just don't know what I need, so I have to look anyway. True. Plus everything is stupid expensive where you are, too. Hope to make good money when I finish school. That's the dream, isn't it, driver? Red choo-choo jelly. Yep, okay. Alright, so we gotta go get some choo-choos. So let's go to Death Mountain real quick. Yeah, let's go to Goron City. I was gonna say we should go to the base of the mountain, but we'll go to Goron City. The Stunky in chat. Alright, red choo-choos are gonna just be around, I guess. Probably, huh? So, I, like, want to know, but I also don't want to know because I'll just do it, I'm sure. Like, I'm sure you can get rid of that, like, marbled shit eventually. That might be what what's-his-name's ability is. Truth be told. Ooh, a Korok. Where's your friend? How far away is your friend? Oh, jeez. Oh, that's not terrible. Alright, chat. You know what time it is. Rocket Man! Run, little bro, run! Keep rolling! Oh, you were so close. The Gliak wings will be needed for an armor set. You need a lot of them? Yeah, I know you can convert others by lighting them on fire. Wait, there's a shrine somewhere. You have choo-choo jelly. Oh, wait, how do I get it from you without... Oh, I'll blow you up. Wait, there's another Korok over there! Alright, one at a time. Wait, where's he? Where's his friend? I lost him. I think his friend's over there. Oh no, little dude. Oh no, little dude, we're running out of time. We're running out of time, little guy. Go! Go, be free! Ah! I lost it! I lost where he needs to go. I think it's up here. I think it's over here. I've noticed that the PC tech jobs seem underpaid here. It's not a super high paying job anyway, but I could have gotten 20 an hour in South Carolina with lower cost of living. Yeah. Cost of living is the big difference. That's the big difference. Like, dollar for dollar, like dollar amount, I make the same that I made in Connecticut, but the cost of living here is like close to like a third of what it was there. So even though like right now is a really shitty, tough position financially because just life happens, I've never been in a situation like this where it's like my cost of living is so low compared to like, you know, what I'm making, but I'm actually making the exact same amount that I was making in Connecticut. And there's no tax. There's no tax in Tennessee. I mean, like, you don't have to, like, pay, like, you don't pay, like, state tax, like, on your, like, you don't pay extra state tax on, like, your, paycheck. Is what I'm, like, I'm trying, what I'm struggling to say. Okay. Choo-choos. Red choo-choos. See, this guy's got... No. What does he have in him? So, yeah. I know that, like... I feel like it has a lot to do with, like, our parents' generation and stuff. But talking about finances and, like, talking about money and stuff, like, shouldn't be, like, as taboo as it is. You know what I mean? Like, everybody, like, should be talking about what they're making and stuff. So you know, like, what's a fair wage for, you know, things that you do and the work that you put in. So I don't really necessarily believe, like, don't talk about your finances, it's taboo or whatever. Like, I genuinely am a believer in talking about these types of things. But that's why it was made taboo. Exactly, because they didn't want people to find out that they weren't making the same as their coworkers and stuff. I love that this is a lizard. Like, I love that this is a little lizard with his little tootsies. Yep. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. They didn't want women knowing that they're making less money. You know, like, it's just the way it is. We're gonna stay here until we heal. It's a free heal. So you guys know that one of my favorite streamers slash content creators is Point Crow, right? Like, he's mostly on YouTube, but he does stream on Twitch. But he's one of my favorite like streamers. He's one of the only, if not the only, like, big streamer that I watch. And by big streamer, I mean like he's got like 2K viewers. You know, like I watch Nee, who usually has about like 400. I watch Holly and Brandy, who usually have like about 100. But like Point Crow is the only one I watch that's like a huge streamer. So he's already finished. He has already finished Tears of the Kingdom, as I'm sure you know, because he is a speedrunner. So he's currently doing like challenge runs and stuff right now to kind of like just spice things up or whatever. And he did a no stamina challenge. Like, he couldn't run, he couldn't do anything that required stamina, right? Tell me how he couldn't even get out of the fucking... It's not the Shrine of Resurrection. It's not the Shrine of Resurrection, but whatever the equivalent of the Shrine of Resurrection is in this, which I can't remember. It's up here. Room of Awakening. Tell me how he couldn't even get out of the Room of Awakening because he had to climb a little cliff. So he was like, all right. The challenge has to be updated. What? Wait, what? I didn't mean to. It's so ugly. Look at it. It's so ugly. It's so ugly. No. It's hideous. Come on, Bubble Frog. Okay. Oh my gosh. I did not mean to find that. That's so funny. Laz said that the other day. He's like, well, I found the Redania helm on accident. Now I understand how you found it on accident. Okay. This one was not very hidden. Like, they did not hide this one as well as they hid the others. But this one was very, 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 like, out in plain sight. I like how I came here for choo-choos and I got the Redania helm. Honestly, this little... Oh my god. I saw the shadow and I got scared. I love this little lizard. He's so cute. There's two of them, isn't there? Yeah. Wait, so the other one's up? Oh wait, here's stuff to mine. Stuff to mine. Yes. No, grab the rock salt. What are you doing? I want to think of some new channel point redeems. Like, I love mixing them up, and I love, like, adding new stuff for you guys to do. And I just feel like like, have I peaked? Have I peaked with my creativity? Like, I just haven't thought of anything lately to entertain you guys with. I'm sure I'll think of something, but yeah, I'm racking my brain trying to think of stuff. I like mixing it up, making it fresh and fun for you guys. Mod battle passes, hello. Listen, alright, fine. I'll end stream in like 25 minutes and we'll brainstorm for an hour before I go to bed. How's that sound? Actually, Yeah, because I want to finish this. Oh, I didn't go in the shrines. I'm so dumb sometimes. I'm like, yay, fast travel place, and then I didn't go in. Hello. Better kickstart the lizard, I know. I'm so ready for Diablo 4. Is that what that is? Guys. Listen. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? This is me holding the sides of your faces. Are you listening to me? I'm so fucking excited for Fable. We better get a Fable announcement like today, tomorrow. Like we better get a Fable announcement like so fucking soon before I lose my mind. That little teaser that they gave us like 27 years ago ain't gonna fucking cut it. It ain't gonna fucking cut it no more. Okay, so... can I climb this? Nope. Okay. What? This one confuses me. Did you see the Borderlands tease on Insta? No! Okay, hold on. What is this one called? Alignment. What? Oh my god, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Amazing. I'm the best. A mighty Zonite Longside would take it. That makes me so excited, Yaga. Like, that makes me legit so excited. Okay, I see now. Okay, I see now. You're killing it. I am killing it. I'm literally the best. I can't be stopped. Can't be stopped, chat. I cannot be stopped. I'm a menace to society. An absolute menace. As to what it could mean. What, like, but what else would it mean? I mean, well, they did do that Tales of the Borderlands last year, which I bought it. Nate and I bought it to play together, and then realized that it was not co-op, and then I uninstalled it and haven't touched it. So, yeah. So hopefully it's another Borderlands, and it's not like a Tales from the Borderlands or whatever. That's one of those I wasn't confused, you were confused moments. I have never been confused in my life, okay? I've never been confused a day in my life. I've never been confused ever once in my whole life. Wait, I'm confused. Wait, what? Wait, what? Guys. Eris has started on my new emotes, and I'm so excited. Obviously, I can't get them for a while because I have no money. But depending on, first of all, depending on how this weekend goes, depending on how much of my bills I'm able to pay and how much of my money I'm able to recover from the fraud on my account over the weekend. So there's a lot of dependings, but new emotes are coming. New emotes are coming. It's just a matter of when. Just a matter of when. Gut check rock. Wait, gut check rock is gone. There's nothing to do on gut check anymore? Sad. Wow. Aw, there's nothing to do on gut check anymore. Oh, there's a little cooker. A little cookeroonskis. Gut check rock. Where are you telling me to go, sign? Why? Why are these breaking into just amber? What is it? Oh, a Magby. Oh, Magby's kind of cute. Nice catch, driver. Nice catch. You got the little baby Magby. The baby Magby. Oh, wow. 100 rupees. Let's go. Oh, I see you. Oh, wow. There's still stuff over on gut check over here. Okay. Is that it? Is. It's a baby Bagby. It's a Bagby. Yes, it's a baby Magmar. Yes. A Bagby. Words are hard. I don't know how to words. Eh. Oh, guys. Look what time it is. Look what time it is. Do you get to a point in the game where all the enemies just start spawning as silvers? Because those are some silvers over there. The last Pokemon game you played was Crystal. I forgive you. I forgive you. Just don't let it happen again. Okay? Just don't let it happen. Just don't let it happen again. Stretch. Okay. We have stretched.
Stretch.
So when is again? When is what? Oh, fuck. It's a thingy. Smash. I don't want to. Because that shit ain't changing tomorrow. Listen. 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 Again is any time that a wizard arrives neither late nor early, but precisely when he means to. So you take that and then you add an hour, but then you also have to keep in mind if Mercury is in retrograde, and then you have to account for that, and then you have to add 27. So hopefully you had your calculator ready. It's 42. No, Yaga, it's 27. Maybe that's why you're always late. Can't trust no one these days. Can't rely on anyone these days. Better late than pregnant. Okay, so you're not wrong, but like also you're also not right. So you might need to fix that, okay? You might need to just like address that. There's no way. There's no way that this is gonna work. Just because I managed to wedge that piece in here. That's so funny. I don't know, man. What are you building? So, have you not been here for one of these yet? So this is a new thing that they added in this game. So there are these, like, guys. Well, it's one dude, but he just magically is all over Hyrule, because, you know, magic. So this dude goes around and he holds up signs, right? And you have to, like, build these contraptions around the signs so that when he lets go, the sign doesn't move. It just stays in place. So you have to, like, build these, like, absolutely absurd contraptions. So hopefully when he lets go, it doesn't fall over. Alright, let's see. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know. Let's see. Let go. Let's see. Are we ready? Ooh, a little shakeage. Got it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Okay, nice. And I saw a Dinral, I think, flying. Yeah, right there. With that, I'm off. Goodbye forever. Alright, so Dinral is gonna come over here, I imagine. I imagine Dinral is gonna come over here. He did invite me to a sleepover. I'm not going, though, because I don't sleep over on a first date. That's just asking for trouble. Look, it's Yaga. I found her. Dang. Dang. It's a booty pick. It's a booty pick because it turned around. General, are you coming over here or not? I often roll in the dirt. I knew it. I knew it. You seem like a dirt rolling kind of gal. You seem like you've seen your fair share of dirt. Can you, like, literally relax? Where is this dragon going? Not where I need him to, that's for sure. Where are you going? I have to get a good picture of your face. I got a really good picture of the other two. Have you guys seen my dragon pictures? Like, they came out so good that I need the other two to look that good. Look. Look. Oh no, I got Dinral. So, look, I got Dinral and I got Faroche. I need Nadra is what I need. Look at them pics. Look at them pics. It's Volvagia? No, it's not Volvagia. That's a different Zelda game. That's a different Zelda game. Alright. What about you? What about you? You're not wrong? Listen. Listen here. We're not gonna fight over Giant's Knife Begoron sword again. I knew what I was trying to say. I just misspoke. Oh my gosh! There she is! There she is! She's so beautiful! Wait, can I get her? Hello? No, nar. Nar. I'm sorry, let's never fight again. Okay, fair. How do I... No, how do I... How do I live without Zelda? I want to know. Alright, I should be responsible. Responsibility's gross! Alright, let's go turn in all of our quests. But let's start winding it down. Because I have to go to the bathroom. And I should go to bed and be responsible, which is gross. But honestly, first of all, real talk. Real talk. I have been streaming every single day since Zelda came out because I can't stop streaming Zelda. Tonight's supposed to be my day off. I streamed for 3.5 hours. I have a problem, chat. I have a problem. I have a problem. I have a problem. And the problem is more Zelda. The problem is that I have to work instead of playing Zelda. That's what sucks. To get you closer to finishing the game. That's funny that you think I'm even close. That I'm even remotely close to finishing this game. That's so funny. What else do we have? Do we have anything that's here? Lookout landing. Okay. Oh, let's go turn this in. Let's go turn these in, because we have a bunch of these to give to him. And then that way it'll mark them off my map. And that will actually help for next time. Like, this is not just like, this is not procrastinating ending stream. I swear this is not procrastinating ending stream. I just think I should turn these in. It's fine. I'm not in denial about having to go to bed and be an adult. It's fine. Chat, it's fine. It's fine. I said relax, chat. It's fine. Guys, you guys like seriously need to simmer down. You're being embarrassing. I just said continuing to stream gets you closer. But like I would agree with you. I would agree with you if I've made any progress whatsoever. No, I've done 3 temples. I've done 3 temples.
Oh. Oh.
It's fine. Chat, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay? It's fine. Chat, I said it's fine. You guys need to, you really need to relax, okay? You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me. I did find the Star Islands. It's true. I did do that.
Oh.
Okay, let's see if we can read this. So sweet, the song of King Rauru, and so great the beauty of his sister's dance that were mine eyes on that were mine eyes and ears captive. Okay. And so hand Queen Sonya gassen on us ale. Something on us all, so felt in my heart captive. So my heart is captive. Okay, fallen captive. Sirwante's life. I don't know. Han moch jolite as well. I don't know. Long be the life of the royal family. There I love so. Okay, I know that one. Is he having a stroke? Yes. I'm having a stroke trying to read this shit. Alright. It says King Rauru and his older sister sang and danced together while Queen Sonya looked on. It's very interesting. Okay. Okay. Money, money, money. He gives me money every time. I did like 3, right? Let's see. All right. Let's see, guys. Are we ready? Are we ready to do this again? Okay. Okay. First-hand historical account. Oft was Rauru, king of Keen Blade, weave his work real in favor of the hunt. And oft Quiet Sonya, queen of keen insight, seek out him and repair this king to kingly business. Kingly business. Guys, you need your kingly business. Kingly business. Are you here for business or pleasure? Business or pleasure? Do you have business here? In her sapience seems she dive in. that she couldn't him ever find, and for his folly seems him the more humane. I feel like I feel like a Gungan right now. Misa human. Like, what is happening? And the king, oh, he life, not him here equal, for here wit he couldn't. Und the queen, she life too, else even she scalding. Us even she scolding.
Oh.
Jar Jar Translator confirmed. Misa Link. God. Apparently King Rauru would vacate his official business from time to time in order to go out hunting. Oh god. Oh, as a step ahead, she would put a stop to King Rauru's hunts and bring him back. In some circumstances, you might expect this to have been a point of attention. Yep, delete the VOD. Yep, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. I've been uploading all of my Tears of the Kingdom playthroughs to YouTube. Nope, this one's gone. Oh god. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment. Alright, ready?
Oh.
Alright, ready? Switch wondrous sight. Ye have beholden that ne con hit nat justly be described. The temple of time Isawe, on a long day healed it, risen to the sky, both fearful and majestic. As Princessy Zelda told me, in for distant future comes a champion to that place. The hope that Hyrule savin'. For that champion be hit that this great stain inscribin'. The king's elder sister Minoru sendes knew the stain to the sky that the champion mout him iriden. My head is spinning. I need to lie down. The guy who translates it doesn't even know. This is an incredible find. Oh my gosh. You don't say. God. It's a landmark discovery for the history of Hyrule. It may be one of the top 10 most important discoveries of all time, even among all the breathtaking displays of power. Wow. The Chamberlain. Amazing. Gone past my hands and legs. My whole body is shaking. Please excuse me. This is no way for a researcher to behave. I need to view these accounts as a historian and not get so swept up in personal sentiments. Very good. I thank you. Not just with words, but with this as well. Thank you for the money. Thank you for the money. We have 5 left. Do I have any more? No, I don't have any more. He might need some fresh underwear. I literally think he just came. Like, I literally think he just came in his pants. Like,
Money, please.
Oh.
Hey.
I love that show. I know. Don't be suspicious. 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 Look at this. Look at this goofy helmet we have on. Look at how goofy. Look at how silly, goofy kids. When I'm sneaking around in games, I sing, "Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious." All right, guys. We have to have a talk, okay? We have to have a talk about this item. This item right here, this little item that's right here. How go? This way? I don't, this one right here. The well-worn hairband, okay? We have to have a discussion about this because what this implies what this implies is that Zelda literally held on to Link's scrunchie while he was healing. She literally was like, oh, this is my husband's scrunchie. I better hold on to it and keep it safe for him. So she put it in a treasure chest in her bedroom in the house that she shares with Link because I ship them so hard. She saved his scrunchie. Look at it. She's like, here, baby, I got your scrunchie for you. Look at his little scrunchie. Look at it. She kept his scrunchie. Remember at the beginning of the game when everyone was like, Link's hair, Link's majestic hair, look at his hair. Because she had his scrunchie. She had his scrunchie. She was holding it. He probably is like me. He's probably like me and he probably like leaves them all over the place. And she probably was like, man, this is his last scrunchie and he's gonna lose it. And so she probably was like, let me put it in his little scrunchie box for him. And then my hand got cut off and I had to heal for 100 years. It wasn't 100 years. That was the last game. Don't listen to me. But still, she kept his scrunchie, okay? She kept his scrunchie in their house that they share in Hateno, and I said what I said, okay? I said it. I said what I said. Alright, we're going to Hateno. I'm saving the game, and I'm ending stream, and I'm not gonna be irresponsible, because I have to go to the bathroom really bad. And I'm just gonna raid out instead of putting up BRB for no reason. Don't make sad faces at me, driver! I'm easily manipulated. I refuse. I refuse to be manipulated. And gaslit. I refuse to be manipulated and gaslit by you. Okay, let's find someone to raid. I'm JK. I'm JK, by the way. I'm JK, by the way. Let's find someone to raid. Ba ba da da ba 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 da. Oh, maybe April. Ba 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 da da ba 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 roo doo. Oh. Oh no, this is a rerun. Never mind. Oh, I got excited. I was like, oh, I can raid them, but no. It's just their VOD from wherever ago. Alright, let's see who else is on. Let's see who else is on. I would like to be able to raid somebody I don't get to raid often. But there's not a lot of options right now. Let me see what they're playing. Nope. Alright, let's go raid April, I guess. Let's go raid April. Alright, April is playing For the King. Don't know much about it, but she's... Broseph is streaming, but Broseph is playing Zelda, and I don't know where they're at, and I don't want spoilers. So we're not gonna raid Broseph. But yeah, we're gonna raid April, and I don't get to raid April very often because of our stream schedules. So this is actually nice. Alright guys, I'll be back tomorrow. I believe the plan for tomorrow is I will probably play a couple hours of Zelda in the afternoon, late afternoon, after I get home from work and after I take my nap. And then I believe the plan is we are playing Destiny with Chris and Yaga later in the evening. So it'll be Zelda in the afternoon, Destiny in the evening. All right, guys, thanks for hanging. Stay safe. Stay safe. Make good choices. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.